I want to talk about reality. Reality. Now, reality is what? Well, it's whatever you make it. It is whatever you make it. Alright? Now, that's it. That's the end of the video. No, I'll carry on for a bit. But that is it, right? Now then, I think that, where do I start? You see, the thing about reality, right, is that it really is your perception. You create it. You create your reality, and it manifests in your life and in your outside world. Okay? Now, it's believed among quantum physicists that when they're observing like particles, okay, that they will observe what they expect to observe, right? So if you've got a particle physicist who is expecting a particular behavior of a particle, then that's what he'll get. And a different particle physicist will get a different response and a different observation, even though the experiment is the same. It's been written about numerous times in numerous books that that's what happens, and it's like really weird, but that is what happens. Now, I put it to you that if we were to talk about the cosmos, right, the opposite end of the spectrum, right, so we've gone from the particle to the cosmos, right, which is like, you know, the universe. Now, seeing as the universe is a fractal, I believe, then the same would apply. And I'm not saying that the moon is only a reality to those who believe it is, and those who don't believe that it's there, that it's not there, and the same goes for the sun and everything else, because they're clearly there. Although, really, if I'm being true to what I'm saying, then that wouldn't apply, because if someone truly believed that the moon does not exist in the sky, then that would mean, under this theory, that no, it doesn't in their reality. And perhaps that's true. But you see, like, collectively, as a human race, all 6 billion of us believe that the moon is there. But I do strongly believe that, you know, if that were to change, and even someone were completely deprogrammed, completely unlearned everything, and came to a conviction that the moon was not in the sky, then the moon wouldn't be in the sky. I do believe that. Now, the thing about reality, right, is that I believe, and you know, this has been an epiphany for me just, you know, in the last year or so, because I never used to believe this. I used to believe it was black and white. But I believe that, seeing as we create our reality, right, and that we really are the master of our reality. Now, you see, the thing is that people, like, we can and we do create our reality, right? But to the person who doesn't, like, deliberately, intentionally, willfully create and mold his or her reality, it's hit and miss. And reality, it just happens, and they think that it just happens to them, that, or that's life, is the way the saying goes. But in actual fact, they've created it somehow, and it goes deep. They don't know how, because it's not conscious, it's subconscious. And anyway, so, but when considering life after death, right, that's when your whole perception of reality will really manifest for you. Alright? Because I think that when you die, that what will happen to you when you die is whatever you expect to happen to you. Not even so much what you want, but what you expect, and somewhat what you want. I mean, I do believe that I'm alive on the earth today because I chose to incarnate as a human being on this earth at this time. I do believe that. I do believe that I intended to be here, and I believe that everyone who is here intended to be here. But hey, that opens a big can of worms because some people have really shit lives, you know. But it is what I believe. That's hard to swallow, isn't it? And I know what some people are thinking about that, but I don't have time to go into all why I think that in a short video. So hey, let's battle it out back and forth on email if we have to. But anyway, there are people that believe that when they die, they're going to go into heaven, and they have this whole visualization as to what heaven is and what's up there and who's there and yada yada. And that will manifest for them. There are people who believe, unfortunately, you know, and it is unfortunate because I don't believe it. There are people who believe that maybe they've lived a bad life and that they're going to go to hell and burn for eternity in a lake of fire, and you know, perhaps that will be a reality for them. I think that there are people who wish to reincarnate, or they expect to reincarnate, and they'll reincarnate, you know. There's all these belief systems on the earth, you know. Some people believe that they reincarnate, some people believe they go to heaven, some people believe they go to hell, not too many I hope. Some people believe they're going to go to purgatory. There's all kinds of places and things that happen to people, and I believe that they're all true. Every one of them is true. Every one of them, because that is the reality for that person. So, what about all this Nibiru, the Brown Dwarf Star, Doomsday, 2012, all of this? Because that's something that I think about a lot. Obviously, that's what most of my videos is about. Now, I believe that there is. I think you know what's going on, right? We've come to a point in time where it's like, okay, it's like manifestation time. It's like, okay, everything that everyone deserves, everything that everyone expects, you know, it's like, this is it. It's like Judgment Day, except it's not judgment, but it's like Judgment Day. So it's like the day. It's like time has. It's like it's reached its crescendo, and it's like we're at the end of the line, and this is it, and it's around 2012. But I believe that we're going to have a new earth and a new age, a golden age, and that we're going to enter into something great. And that's what I believe, that's what I expect, and that's what will happen. And you know, I believe that, like Nibiru, if Nibiru is real, Comet Elenin, who some people believe believed to be Nibiru or Brown Dwarf, you know, these comets, these sequence of events, right? This sequence of doomsday events, I believe, in my reality, that yes, they can exist, and that they'll be instrumental in ushering in the new age. Because, you know, a friend of mine once said to me, and it stuck in my head because I believe this to be true. There has to be deconstruction before there can be reconstruction. You know, it's like out of the old and in with the new. And, you know, in order for there to be a shift of consciousness has to change. And in order for consciousness to change, People are so set in their mindsets and in their ways and in their mundane everyday life that in order for someone's consciousness to change, in order for people to take a spiritual leap, in order for people to take an evolutionary leap, there has to be some drastic events, you know. But I do believe, right, that there'll be people who, and this is the whole thing about creating your reality, there'll be people who will create a doomsday in their reality. They'll create it, they'll manifest it. So they believe that, yeah, December 2012, doomsday. And they feed that belief system by taking in all this stuff. There's plenty of food, right, for that thought out there on the internet. And, they can take it all in, soak it all up, and it will just reinforce and just make that a concrete belief and an expectation, and that doomsday will manifest. And as far as they're concerned, that's the end of the earth, that's the end of humanity, right? Because what will probably happen is they'll remain in the 3D that is destroyed, and that because they never considered like an ascension or a merging into the new, right? Then that's not going to manifest, which is sad. But you see, I'm moving on. I'll be here 2013, 2014, 2015. I'm immortal. I'm immortal, and if I get run over by a bus tomorrow, that I'm still immortal. You see, because I'm energy, and energy, it's never created nor destroyed. It just changes from one form into another, and so like the me, right, in this shell, right, this flesh contains me, right, and I existed before I incarnated into this body on the earth, right? And I'm not a wacko. I can't tell you. I'm not saying that those who can tell you are wackos, but I'm just trying to defend myself a little bit here. But I can't tell you who I was and what I was doing before I was here on the earth or in this life. I can't. I'm not going to pretend because I just don't know. But I do know that. I'm not living until I die and that's it. That's just not happening. I can't comprehend that. That's not reality for me. So, just a few thoughts on reality.